Welcome back. Doug in Moreno Valley, California. Am I saying it right, Doug?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
So the Republicans are walking back some of that tax back to the rich.
Yep.
So I figure they'll try to get it back when they do tax reform.
Yep.
My question is, what do the Republicans mean by tax reform?
They mean tax cuts for rich people and big corporations.
I know, but how are they? They're just going to like you say, throw back $100 to everybody else, and then give it.
Oh yeah, they just like Bush did. They'll throw a bone to the average working person, but that's not really what it's all about. I've got here this article that's published in today's actually the 14th, last Friday's Investors Business Daily. It's titled "A Tax Cut Victory Before Labor Day." And it's by Lawrence Kudlow, Stephen Moore, Art Laffer, and Steve Forbes, okay? You know, the four horsemen of the apocalypse here. And let's see here. Without a tax cut passage in 2017, the odds of Republicans losing the House are heightened. The economy needs time to respond to the growth hormones from a Trump tax cut plan, or a Trump tax plan. And then they go through the possibility. Okay, here. To jumpstart the tax debate, we suggest a three easy pieces initiative. Number one, a 15% business tax rate for small and large businesses with full and immediate expensing for capital purchases. So that's taking it from 35% down to 15%. Number two, a repatriation tax at 10% for foreign earnings brought back to the United States. Currently, they're taxed at 35%. Depending on how much money it is, they want to drop that down to 10%. And number three, a doubling of the standard deduction from $6,500 to $13,000 for individuals and $13,000 to $25,000 for couples to put more money into their pockets now and to simplify tax returns. Now, the reason why he is throwing this, what would be a tax cut for families, for for middle income and working class people, is because if you took that standard deduction from $6,500 to $13,000 for individuals and $13,000 to $25,000 for couples, what you're going to do is you're going to cause large chunks of the American working class it would be a substantial tax cut for them, but it would cut hundreds of billions of dollars of revenue out of the federal coffers. And when you do that, then, according to the logic of these guys, when you do that, then you have to, in fact, they say this would be about $1,500 per family. When you do that, then the next thing that they'll be screaming about, and they're not screaming about it in this Investors Business Daily piece, but the next logical step is, oh, we can't afford SNAP, we can't afford food stamps, we can't afford aid-dependent children, we can't afford public school subsidies, we can't, federal aid to education, we can't afford to support colleges, we can't afford, it's just going to be, it's the same song we've been hearing ever since the Reagan tax cuts in the 80s. Now that we've had the tax cuts, we can't afford to do the things that every other developed government in the world does for their people and for their country. We can only afford to support the military-industrial complex, continue subsidizing the fossil fuel industry, and support, billionaires in their everything. Give them the top, a top tax rate of 20% as a capital gains rate. That's what it's all about.
It's not really reform; it's just tax cuts.
Yeah. I mean, they call it reform. Republicans always, when they're going to screw something up, they always call it reform. So it's, they've literally been doing this since the 80s. They've probably been doing it a lot longer than that. But I first noticed this during the Reagan era when they were reforming Social Security and reforming our taxes and reforming our labor laws. And, it's just, this is the word Republican. When Republicans say reform, run. Doug, thanks for the call.